Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Nav, and I'm in a damn hurry today because it is 11 p.m. and I like sleep, okay? It's also my fault because I forgot to do the reading, and then we had to wait and delay and delay and wait and wait and delay, and we're here now. Anyway, who are you?
And my name's Harmit, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate. I love chocolate.
Keep it a classic. Okay, in this episode, I'm hella anxious, and, congratulations! It's a shadow! Also, these chapters are 42 and 43, Davos and John. Yay!
Yay!
Okay, welcome to this anxiety fest, everyone. So, Harmith, what did you think of these chapters?
Who died in these chapters?
No, first tell me what you thought of these chapters.
These were fun. What am I saying? No,
Davos.
Not Stannis. Davos is like back to like our Ned era because he's like a good person. We're finally back with like a developed human, so like not like a 10-year-old anymore, who's like somehow remained like good. Right. And it's just like nice to see like a Ned again, you know? Right. And John's chapter was okay, like nothing really happened, but it was chill, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so who died in these chapters, or who's about to die in these chapters?
Mr. Penrose, our lovely friend, is about to die. Yeah. And people died in John's chapters, but I don't know their names, so.
Right. Corrin's folks.
Yeah.
Along the way.
And then a couple of
some free folk.
Yeah.
All right. And is anybody about to die in John's chapters?
I hope not.
Is John about to die in John's chapters?
I would hope not. I cannot handle another Stark death. It would grieve me.
Technically John's a Snow, so
I don't
does it count?
No. Don't be like that. I couldn't think of a word. I'm sorry, guys. I just worked 9 hours and my brain is fried, and there's gonna be a lot of me just pausing and not knowing what to say.
Oh, I love when we're like this. Okay, all right. So, what comes next? Summary. Okay, let me get my stopwatch.
Summary for the summer child that I am.
Yes.
I don't know why
indeed.
that was funny. It wasn't.
Okay, you got 30 seconds each.
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so Davos is back! Hey! And he's been back for like, I think like 8 days. 8 days a week. Anyway, so he's talking to Stannis, and Stannis is like, yo, you're the only one who's gonna be truthful. And then he like pretty much asks his opinions, and he's like, what happened on the road? And then he's like, these are my plans, and we need to get the castle fast. And then he has to do the plan, and he has to have the small boat that no one can recognize, and then Melisandre has a baby. Ooh, Shadow, love it. And Shadow's Stannis, and Stannis is gonna go kill Penrose. But Stannis doesn't know he's gonna go kill Penrose.
Switch.
John. Sorry, I'm so disoriented. Okay, John is like there. You know, we're still on the hill, and the people show up, the people that we want to show up, and the dude is like, ooh, hey John, and he picks John, and he's like, yo, we just won this victory, but it's not a victory because the dude that we captured told us that like they're you know, they got all these plans, and their plans are working out, and they're not just this unorganized bunch that we thought they were. Like they good, you know, like we need to beat them.
Okay, that's a minute. All right.
That was a struggle.
I could tell. It's okay. Everything's a struggle.
Like
all right.
I could remember what happened, but I couldn't like say it.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, so Davos.
Yes. Our friend.
Let's see. So Davos is hanging out with Stannis, who's hanging out with his new dudes, who are parlaying. It amidst a parlay with Courtney Penray. Courtney Penray. First I wanted to say Court Rose, and then I said Courtney, but then I said Penray instead of Penrose, and then it just became a mush of whatever. Okay, Sir Courtney, it's N-A-Y. Why can't you just be Courtney if you're gonna... God damn it. Okay. Courtney.
Okay, Penrose. Mr. Penn.
Oh, yeah.
Sir Penn.
Now I'm thinking about fountain pens, because I found my fountain pen yesterday.
Ooh,
Remember I was telling you about the one that I broke?
Yes.
I got the cap off, and it works.
Ooh, nice.
Except I threw away all the ink cartridges like 2 years ago when I thought it didn't work.
You're an impatient
But it's okay.
child.
They're not that expensive. I can get more. Okay. Penrose, this guy, is he's the guy at Storm's End, you know, Renly's guy.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to give over the castle because he like really doesn't care about the castle as much as he cares for the bastard who is
Edric Storm.
There we go. And Stannis looks like hella old, not really great, kind of sickly.
Sleep deprived. Bestie is like, I take a picture every exam period, like after my last exam, and they get progressively worse. And I imagine that me, like, a few years from now is going to be what Stannis looks like right now.
Yeah, but apparently this has happened since the last time Davos saw him. So it's some immediate, like, you know, very recent development that he's looking this bad.
Yes.
So what was I talking about before? Don't remember. Okay, Penrose doesn't want to hand over Edric Storm because he doesn't trust Stannis with it. And later on, Stannis is like, I need that boy because Melisandre says so. And that makes me not like that either. So, you know, there's like, there's a bunch of lords, you know, who switched over from Renly. Prominent among them is Alistair Florent, who is like really quick to denounce his old king and gods and everything, and is like, yeah, I'm all for you now. And we don't like that, so that's a thing.
Yep.
Also, apparently Melisandre is sleeping with Stannis or like sharing a pavilion with him. You know?
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
And his wife's not there, which is...
But that seems like really out of character for Stannis, doesn't it? Because,
yeah, like
Stannis is the person that's against brothels and stuff. What do you think about this?
I don't think it's... I don't know. I don't think it's consensual. Like, this doesn't feel
You
like
don't think it's consensual?
This doesn't feel like a... I don't know. This just doesn't feel like a...
So you're thinking that he's under, like, a spell or something?
No, I don't think he's under a spell. I just think that, like, when he's, like, sleeping, he's under a spell. I don't think that, like, him is...
Right,
you know?
But he's aware that he shares his tent with her, you know?
Yeah, I know, but, like, I feel like it's like, okay, day's over, going to sleep now, and he has, like, those nightmares or whatever, and then, like, whatever Melisandre does is, like, he's not aware of what happens after that, like, during that slumber.
Oh, so he's not aware that his dreams are actually real?
Yes.
But, like, okay, what does he think is happening when she's in the tent?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay. All right. So it's not like non-consensual sex exactly. It's non-consensual magic.
I think so.
Okay. I think there's definitely like gray areas in the magic bit because she's like, oh, I saw it, so it must happen. But you gotta do all these things, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I think Stannis is just like, yeah, I know this isn't, like, logical, but it's getting me what I want, so I don't really care. Like, I feel like Stannis should understand that this doesn't, you know? Like, I feel like this is also just, like, it's like the gods thing, where he's like, yeah, like, I don't really believe in these gods, but, like, I want the kingdom because it's mine, so I don't, like, whatever has to happen is happening. Whether it's, like, supposed to happen, you know? Like, whether he actually believes the, like, it's supposed to happen.
But since it's in his favor, you know,
yeah,
he's like, it benefits me to believe it, so I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah. And even if that's not, like, a conscious choice, like, it's still, you know, somewhere in there he's like, whatever, I don't care, you know?
Right. Okay. Anyway, so we get all this, like, background, and Sir Courtney has, like, a bunch of cool insults, you know?
Yeah.
Florent guy is like, oh, trust me, you know me for a man of honor. And Courtney's like, I know you for a man of ambition, a man who changes kings and gods the way I change my boots.
Ooh, let's go.
I love that. And then
no one came to help him, which is sad.
Oh yeah, well, because, like, we got news of them getting their ravens at River Run, right?
Mm-hmm.
And River Run is in no position to help anybody.
Yeah.
Like, they're defending right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're in the middle of a fight, and I don't know why the Lannisters would help him, so he is kind of on his own. Yeah. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, you know, he's like, oh, if y'all are so cool and chill, where are the rest of ya, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, the Knight of Flowers is not there, and, like, a bunch of people, and he's like, where's Brienne of Tarth?
Mm-hmm.
Those who loved Renly best, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Brienne's the one who killed him. And he's like, yeah. I
No,
don't buy that.
actually, it was Lady Stark. Like, where y'all at?
Yeah, you could, I promise, you know, you have my oath on that. And then, like, Sir Courtney's like, oh, really? And what is that worth? You wear your cloak of many colors, I see. The one Renly gave you when you swore your oath to protect him. If he is dead, how is it you are not? And I was like, ooh, so good.
Let's go.
But yeah. And yeah, Stannis is like, okay, you know what I want. Give it to me. You know, whatever. And Stannis is, like, giving kind of a fair deal. He's like, I'll let y'all go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be cool. I just want the boy, though.
Yeah.
And Sir Courtney does not trust that he wants the kid for good reasons, so he's not willing to give up.
Mm-hmm. And
And then he responds with a proposal of his own by throwing his glove in Stannis's face. And asks to fight him in single combat. And Stan's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that because, like, I got no reason to. So, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you think I'm Robert? Who's gonna be like, yeah, let me fight you, bro. Like, no,
yeah,
I'm fine.
And then Stannis is like, oh, if you make me storm my own castle, I'm gonna be real mad at you. And Sir Courtney says, bring your storm, my lord, and recall, if you do, the name of this castle.
That was my favorite line in this chapter. Let's go.
Right? I love this dude. It's so sad that he's gonna be dead soon.
Oh no. He's so cool.
I wanted more of him.
He's so cool.
Yeah, and, you know, all of Stannis' dudes are, like, hyping him up, like, ooh, let me do it. You're cool, and I'm cooler, and, you know, we're all cool together.
Yeah.
And Stannis is like, okay, y'all shut up. I'm gonna go talk to my dude Davos, because, you know, he gives it to me real, and that's what I need. And they, like, go clippity clop.
Clippity
you know,
clop.
Horses.
Right.
Clop, clop, clop away. And I love this. While they're talking, Davos can hear, like, over the, you know, sound of the horses, he could hear Stannis grinding his teeth, which is, like, such a it is a vital characteristic of Stannis' his personality, this teeth grinding.
Yeah.
But it's so loud that he can hear it over the horses. So.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, they're talking about, like, what their options are, and, you know, Stannis points out that he could always, like, you know, threaten Courtney's father, and then, you know, he would have to give up. But Davos is like, yeah, he would never do that. And it would just like bring dishonor to our cause and all. So let's not do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's like, oh, so you want me to spare the lives of traitors? And Davos is like,
well, you already did, buddy.
Yeah, like all these lords, you know, last year they were Robert's men. A moon ago they were Renly's. This morning they are yours. Whose will they be on the morrow?
Oh my gosh.
I can't even read straight.
Whose will they? Whose will be they? Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, I love
and Stannis is
when
kind
I'm
of
a
like,
mess.
you know what? Yeah, like, I don't like it, but I gotta do it. And I'm like,
true.
Okay, this is logical thinking, which I did not know that Stannis could exhibit. But now I'm like,
well,
why couldn't he have done this like earlier, like when like Catelyn was there, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's just like, you know,
right. But he still had this Melisandre has seen it in the flames thing in the back of his mind, you know?
But it's just like, can't we just take the logic a little bit further? Like, you're almost there, buddy. You just gotta keep going.
Yeah, but then if he like commits to the logic, then he's gonna see the flaws in his logic, and he doesn't want to do that, you know?
Yes.
Anyway, he's like, yeah, Davos, you're right, but I gotta do what I gotta do, so let's blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, he's like, tell me about your, you know, adventure I sent you on, or task I sent you on for spreading the tale. And Davos is like, yeah, like we did our thing, but like, I don't know how effective it was, because people like the tale about, what's his name? Patchface better than they do this truth, you know?
Yeah. And he's like,
so,
ugh, people just don't want to listen because it's me. Ugh. And this is... I mean, it's true, buddy.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, you know, they'll have to listen to my truth when I'm king, and then I will get revenge for my brother and Ned Stark and John Aaron. I was gonna say Aaron Stark, and that's like too many. That's too much. And then Davos is like, oh, what about revenge for Renly?
Crickets. Crickets.
Yeah, he goes into this monologue like, I dream of it sometimes, of Renly's dying. A green tent, candles, a woman screaming, and blood. I was still abed when he died. Your Devon will tell you. He tried to wake me. Dawn was nigh, and my lords were waiting, fretting. I should have been a horse, armored. I knew Renly would attack at break of day. Devon says I thrashed and cried out, but what does it matter? It was a dream. I was in my tent when Renly died, and when I woke, my hands were clean. Seems like somebody's been taking some of that tea of delusion. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. This
Bestie's literally in the fishing net, right? And he's like being lifted, and he's like, "There's holes in this net. I don't see them." It's like, buddy, you can literally see the ground. How can you see that if there's not holes? Like, he just doesn't get it.
Right.
He just is not.
Sorry, that's just such a out of the blue analogy that I was like,
no, sorry. My brain just went straight to like Melisandre has a fishing pole like hoisted over her shoulder, and he's like in, you know what I mean? He's like trapped in a net. She's I don't know why that's the imagery that comes to my mind, but I was just speaking.
But
off
then
of that.
why would he notice the holes and like?
No,
then he wouldn't notice the fact that he's in the net.
No, that's yeah.
Okay,
he doesn't know
my brain's not working
he
enough
doesn't
for
know
analogies.
He's trapped in the net.
You can't use metaphors today, you know?
Okay. Anyway,
it's too much.
He has no. He's no. That's he's no.
No. Okay, then. Moving on. Davos is like,
yeah. Davos is like, I don't like this. And then he goes into this, like, he's obsessing about Renly's peach. He's like, did the peach mean anything? He's like an English teacher. He's like, what does the peach symbolize? And like, Maybe, you know what?
Yeah, because it was like his last interaction with Renly, and he does admit that, I did love my brother, and I will go to my grave thinking of my brother's peach.
Yeah.
Which sounds really dirty, but,
I mean,
that just occurred to me.
That's true.
It literally says that.
That's
okay.
true. I mean, that's exactly why Renly did it, though. Like, that's such a Renly jape to do. Like,
yeah, making an ass out of Stannis.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So they ride on to camp, and Stannis is like, okay, all of you motherfuckers, get out of my face. I'm gonna go hang out with Davos a little more, because I don't know.
Yeah.
He hadn't. Why couldn't they? I guess horses are uncomfortable. But then
okay. Anyway, so
like,
Davos.
Okay, thank you for pulling me out of that. That was like really getting me. Oh god.
Yeah, Davos is like, man, this dude has no sense of like, hey, my fellow people. Courtesy, that's the word. He has no sense of like anything. He's got no table manners, man. Like, this dude can't.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, whatever.
He doesn't have the same charisma that Renly and Robert had.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. And he's like, ugh, they just keep talking, and I know exactly what they're all gonna recommend, and like, I don't know, man, like, what do you want me to do? This guy's gonna tell me to march. This guy's gonna tell me that they want to fight the thing for me, like the one-man thingy. Yeah. this guy's gonna say, okay, let's like hold our siege, but like that's a year. Not all these plans suck. What do you say? And he's like, we should just like go to King's Landing, because like we should go there because Tywin's off over there. We can go there.
Yeah, it's perfect time, and like, what's the point of taking Storm's End? It's gonna be yours anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But Stannis is like, yeah, but it's symbolic, and I can't be defeated,
Oh.
And then this is where we learn that most of Renly's host is still actually at Bitterbridge.
Mm-hmm.
So Stannis may have gained a bunch of power, but not as much as we thought,
Mm-hmm.
So wonder where those 60,000 people are gonna go.
Mm-hmm. Are we about to get a new king?
Are we?
Honestly,
King Loras Tyrell.
Yeah, at this point I wouldn't be shocked. No, but it would still be like it would still be like under the name of Renly. It would be like, we're fighting for Renly. You know what I mean? But like,
right.
But like, yeah, I think he would maybe. But like,
Army in Memoriam.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Aim.
Okay.
Aim.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
good.
I'm a genius.
No, they should do that. That's pretty good.
Their aim is aim. Okay, that's bad.
No.
So
you ruined it.
Stannis is just like, okay, you keep talking. What I need for you two is do. That's not what it is. I need you to sail this little boat just over there, because things are meant to happen, and then we just need to make sure that we're where we need to be when the things that are definitely gonna happen will happen.
Mm-hmm. Because otherwise they wouldn't happen. But don't worry, they're supposed to happen, so they would still happen.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, he's like, oh, everything would be so easy if Penrose just died. And Davos is like, yeah, but Penrose is pretty healthy. I don't know how he's gonna die. And then he's like, yeah, so was my brother, but he's dead now. And then at the same time, he's like, my hands are clean.
No, literally. It's like he knows, but he could never like admit it.
Yeah. Melisandre has seen it in the flames of the future, his death and the manner of it. Her flames do not lie. She saw Renly's doom as well. And, everybody was like, I should go sail against Joffrey, but Melisandre told me that I should ride to Storm's End because I would win the best part of my brother's power, and she was right. And Davos is like, yeah, but the only reason Renly came over here was because you laid siege to his castle. But it's just
Yeah.
so much of so I don't have the words for it.
This guy needs to study logic. We had to do that. And I think he should do that. I think he would really benefit.
Yeah. And Stannis is like, he has a reputation. Well, I don't know if he has a reputation for being logical, but he has a reputation for being like honorable to a fault kind of thing.
Yeah, just kind of like this, like the way this is. Yeah. And it just feels like somebody who's so like rigid and structured would be like, you know, doing hoops.
He would get it, but he seems to be like willy-nilly with the rules right
yeah,
here.
it's very odd. And even
so,
with the whole like just being like, oh, I gotta let these people off the hook. Like, I remember we were like, how is he gonna like get allies? Like, he's never gonna let people off the hook. But like, honestly, knowing Stannis, like,
he
by
does
the time
say,
he does,
I have forgiven.
yeah,
but I do not
like
forget.
he's definitely gonna be like, okay, now that I've like gotten my kingdom, your face cut off.
Yeah, but
your
then
hand
how's
cut off,
anybody ever gonna like stay loyal to him?
Yeah, but like,
because not everybody respects that kind of, you know, justice.
I know,
like
but
Davos.
like,
Davos is 1 in a million.
Yeah, but like he doesn't. You think he
Get
cares?
It. Yeah.
You know, this is the guy who's convincing himself.
Girls that
of a
get
lot
it,
of it.
get it.
He's convincing himself of a lot of weird, twisted things right now. I don't think he. You know, that should have been our first clue that he doesn't get it. Just the fact that he's so unbudging is like, we should have known.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, he's like, okay, you gotta go sail over there, take Melisandre, it'll be cool.
Yeah, originally I thought
like,
they were gonna like, they were gonna have some sort of weird boating accident. He's like, before the thing happened, no, not like them. I thought that like, Penrose was supposed to, you know, that's why he needed like a boat. Because I was like, what are they gonna...
yeah.
I didn't realize that there was like, oh, like we need to get close enough to do the magic. I was like, what?
Right.
Because I was like, why can't the shadow just like do
Did you see
it wants?
another? So you did think there was gonna be another shadow?
I did think there was gonna be a shadow, but I was like why would we need a boat? Like, what would a boat have to do with the shadow? But then I was like, I don't know, like maybe they didn't want other people seeing it, so they wanted Penrose out on a boat by himself, and then like no one else would see it happen. You know what I mean? So then because the thing is, like, it would already be such a weird coincidence that 2 of Stannis' enemies died exactly when he needed them to. So I thought maybe, like, because the first time some people were like, oh, we think it's Stan. You know, like, people did rumor that it was Stannis, and it kind of got brushed off, but like, I feel like this time would be suspicious. So I was like, oh, boating accident, obviously. But then definitely wasn't.
In tune with the theme of hunting accidents.
Pretty much, yeah.
I like that. Okay. That was a good theory, actually.
Thank you.
Okay, so Davos sets out that night with Melisandre, and they're just out on the sea chatting, and
this is like when you have to talk to like your friend's parents. No, not your friend's parents, because you respect your friend's parents. No, you have to talk to like, I don't know. I can't think of a good example. My brain's fried. But just, it's an uncomfortable conversation is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And, you know, Melisandre is like, so Davos, are you a good boy or are you a bad boy? And
this was odd.
And Davos is like, I'd say I'm, you know, both.
This was sweet. This was really sweet.
He's like, you know, I love my wife. I'm kind to her, but it's not like I haven't had sex with other people. And, you know, I've broken laws, but I don't really do evil stuff until tonight, that is, you know?
Yeah, and he didn't even want to, like, do the thing again. He was, like, sad. He was like, man, Stannis, you're really gonna make me do this? And also the fact that Stannis is literally making him do that, and he cut his fingers off for doing it. Because the last time he did it,
he brought life in the form of onions, and this time he's bringing death in the form of Melisandre. And Melisandre's like, yeah, well, you can't be gray. You gotta be black or white, because, you know, that's a healthy outlook on the world.
Yes.
If an onion is black with rot, it is a rotten onion. A man is good.
Why do they call him Onion Knight? Like, I forget.
Because he smuggled onions to Storm's End when Stannis was besieged during Robert's rebellion.
Oh, and that's how he was able to, like, save them, because he was like, oh, I'm just here to bring
that's why
onions.
He brought life in the form of onions.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought it was like he's the Onion King. Not Onion King. We don't need another king. He's like the Onion Knight. So I was like, oh, I thought it was a metaphorical thing, but he literally brought them in the form of onions.
Yeah, that's why he's the Onion Knight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Hedge Knight, but like a variation, you know, where it's like they're not really about a hedge, you know?
That's funny. I'm sorry. Because, like, they're a hedge knight because they sleep in the hedges. So, like, what does he do? Like, he sleeps in the onion patches?
I don't know. Oh, that's why it's called Hedge Knights.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because, like, they don't have any, like, permanent,
that makes sense.
You know, holdings or anything.
Right. No, that does make sense. I thought, oh, Hedge Knight's random, so Onion Knight's random.
That makes sense. That's definitely more logical than Stannis is being in this chapter. So
that's true. Yeah.
All right. Blah blah
blah. They
blah.
had this light versus dark discussion where he was like,
"Yeah,
you're using
first
our shadow."
Yeah, he's like, "What are you? Are you good or evil?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm the greatest of them all. A champion of light and life." I don't know what that is, but
that sounds like umbrage. Bridge.
Oh yeah. Bridge.
You said
Oh.
bridge.
I thought you were being like, okay, bridge the gap in your
No,
sentences,
my brain isn't going that far today.
That's okay.
My brain needs a bridge today.
Okay.
Anyway, there are spells woven in the stone, and that's why we need
Wait,
to get
no. You skip past their, like, light shadow thing.
Right.
So, you know, he's like, oh, but you killed Maester Crescent. And she's like, he killed himself. And he's like, yeah, well, you killed Renly. And she says, I didn't. And Davos doesn't believe her.
And he's not like, okay. Wrong.
Technically, yeah. But, like...
She did.
In the same way that Joffrey didn't kill Ned, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, you know, Melisandre's like, oh, you are lost in darkness and confusion. And he's like, yeah, be grateful for that. Because, like, that's what we're using to get around today. Oh my. And she's like, yeah, well, it's actually the fire-burning torches that blind the men up on them walls. So, like, no, it's really my thing. It's like the most... She would be such a frustrating person to have a debate with. Yeah. Like, no matter what you say, they're just gonna turn it to, like, you know, their advantage. Yeah. And so, yeah, this is when he's like, yeah, who rowed you to Renly? And she's like, oh, I didn't need rowing. Storm's End has special protections. Dark walls that no shadow can pass. Ancient, forgotten, and yet still in place. There's, like, spells woven into the stones, which is really cool. And we heard, like, the story of, like, Storm's End and how, like, perhaps the Children of the Forest or somebody had, like, a, you know, hand in helping build it, and that's cool. So, and then he's like, yeah, well, the shadows be evil. And she's like, no, silly. Shadows are cast by light. Logic. And, you know, the brightest flame casts the darkest shadows, which, what did you think about this?
I liked that quote.
But, like, okay, it's a good quote, but does it make sense?
Does anything in this chapter make sense? Like, are we measuring this by the standards of this
what do
chapter?
you think? Is Melisandre good or evil?
I don't think Melisandre is good, but I don't think that we always have to associate light with good. Like, I get that she's like, I'm light, which, like, I'm, like, willing to give her that, but I'm not gonna be out here and be like, light is good, you know?
Right.
Like, why
Okay.
why is darkness bad? Like, what's wrong with darkness? You know?
I
Like,
like
why
this
can't it
philosophical
like, why, you know, it's like
examination.
it's like we're just like, okay, like the light's good, but it's like, how, why?
Right.
You know?
Okay. So,
Yeah, she's light, but that doesn't mean she's good.
and are shadows light? What about that argument?
This is like one of those, like, chicken or the egg, where it's like, you know, it's like, depending on who you argue it with, you're gonna get different things. I mean, like, I kind of see both sides of it. I'm not willing to cling strongly to either side, but, like, I'll give it to her, you know? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I guess, like, technically, you know? But it's like, technically, like, aren't they the absence? I don't know, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So, well, technically, shadows are cast by, like, objects that are around light, not even by light itself.
Right.
Okay. This why are we getting, like, so, you know, I was gonna say physical, meaning, like, physics about it,
Oh,
but
right,
physical means a totally different thing, which is the whole actual world.
Yes.
Word. W-O-R-D. Word.
Word up, it's word girl. Word up.
Oh my god, why? I literally, that's what went through my head too.
Really?
I'm so
You
glad
watched
went
that
through your
show?
head too. Of course we watched Word Girl.
World
I
Cup.
can't say it though.
PBS, on my Canadian PBS kids who didn't have any channels because your parents were cheap, so all you had was PBS and Word Girl
And Treehouse.
and Electric Company, which was also on PBS. If you guys don't know what we're talking about,
At least Arthur was on PBS, so that was good.
Arthur was on PBS. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Arthur was. I forgot about that. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Anyway, moving on. So they
get there,
So
you know.
they get to the cave that's under the castle, and it's all dark and whatever. And they bump up against the portcullis, and he's like, "This is as far as we can go." And she's like, "It works for me as long as we're within the walls." And then she, like, just strips off, starts glowing for some reason, and
Glow stick who?
is immediately in labor. It's so weird. It's like Melisandre had thrown back her cowl and shrugged out of her smothering robe. Beneath, she was naked and huge with child. Like, it's so casual, like you don't see it coming in any way.
And it's like,
right?
It's over within like 5 sentences, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, what, like, did you have any thoughts when it was like, wait, huge with child? Wait, what?
I was just, I do this thing. This is really bad. But when I get to the end of a chapter, when I'm reading like the last couple of paragraphs, I skip to the last paragraph. So when I read that, I already knew, you know?
Oh, come on. You know how to stop doing that for these books.
It's only like when I get to it's when I see that the paragraph doesn't fill the page, so my eyes dart. It's not like an intentional let me read it's just like my eyes are just like, ooh,
I know.
You know?
Okay.
So I knew,
no
so I didn't think about it because it had already happened.
All right. So she squats, spreads her legs, and blood runs down her thighs, black as ink.
Yeah.
Her cry might have been agony or ecstasy or both.
Ew.
And
Disgusting.
Davos saw the crown of the child's head push its way out of her. 2 arms wriggled free, grasping, black fingers coiling around Melisandre's straining thighs, pushing until the whole of the shadow slid out into the world and rose taller than Davos, tall as the tunnel towering above the boat. He had only an instant to look at it before it was gone, twisting between the bars of the portcullis and racing across the surface of the water. But that instant was long enough. He knew that shadow, and he knew the man who had cast it. Ho ho ho!
Stam the man, doesn't give a damn.
So this is like a behind the scenes of previously on, you know.
That's true.
this the way that Renly's death happens in the show is like we get this scene, like we get her giving birth to the shadow, and then we see the shadow show up and kill Renly. So it's like not as like what the fuck just happened. Like it's still like what the fuck just happened, but not in the same way. But I like this where you're just like left like to sit with it, like, oh yeah, there's just shadows roaming around the world, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get to see the mechanics of it.
Yeah, it's like, what?
So how did she become pregnant with the shadow?
So I guess they are having sex, and like for some reason, since she's like magical, it's like a
shadows.
It's shadows.
And you know, she wasn't pregnant earlier in the day when Davos saw her.
So I guess it's just like it's like when you're pregnant with a shadow.
And also,
like
Renly was only killed like 2 weeks ago, so it's not like a 9-month gestation period kind of.
Yeah. I guess it's just like a, you know, like it's like an immediate, like
instant
thing. I guess
shadow baby.
I guess.
Sorry, it's like instant oats, but instant shadow baby.
I don't like that because oatmeal is, you know, a food that I like to eat.
Yes. Okay, I love oatmeal as well, but
I don't like that
that's
imagery.
where it went to.
Yes, but no, it definitely does feel like that, where it's like, okay, we gotta kill this man in half an hour. Now,
okay.
let's,
also, somebody Photoshop like instant shadow baby onto a box of instant oats. Wouldn't that be so good?
Yeah, that would. Please, somebody do that.
Add water. And what else do you do? What I don't know. Okay.
I don't like
this.
this.
My brain's not clever enough for it right now. Okay. All right. So, how many of these shadows do you think she's got?
I'm wondering. Like, is it like you get like a shadow?
Because it doesn't seem like the most efficient
way of doing things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very efficient magic. Like, it takes a lot of effort, it seems like.
I don't know. I guess it's like because I'm wondering, it's like, is it like this? Obviously, it's not the same shadow, but then it's like, is it like the shadow's like born for a task, and the shadow's power comes from like her will to do that task, and then after the shadow does the task, like the shadow just like dissipates,
dissipates, yeah.
Or is it like the shadow like
does it hang out?
Yeah, or does it like does it go to the shadow cave or something? Like they all just like they're like, yo, this is what I did. This is, you know, they exchange like war stories, and they're like, yeah. No, they definitely don't do that. But is it like the same shadows reborn for the task? Like, you know what I mean? Like what's the you know, logic, science behind it? And then it's like you said, like, how? What? You know? It just... But then, since the shadow looks like Stannis, so obviously Stannis is involved, so I guess that explains the, like, sleeping together thing. But it's like, they're not making a shadow every night, you know? Like, they're not just, like, making shadows and, like, keeping them in the corner ready to go. You know? Like...
Let's go make a shadow, baby.
That was really funny. Oh my gosh. That's funny.
I'm hilarious. I don't know what people are missing out on not knowing me. You know, everybody who doesn't know me is missing out.
Oh my.
Your face is like, whoa, you're so self-possessed today.
Yeah, you're really starting to sound like, what did we watch where someone was like that? Me and Nav.
Was it Crashing?
I don't know. Me and Nav had a sleepover this weekend, and we consumed so much media that I can't, like, everything's blurring together, but I swear we watched something where someone was just, like, really full of themselves, and you sound like that. Right now.
Well, you know what? I'm tired of being too humble for too long. I'm fucking great.
Yes, you are. But it's fun
everybody
to make
deal
fun of
with
you. Yes.
Okay, you're great too, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So what happens?
They're like,
oh yeah, that's the end of that. Okay, so predictions, questions?
yes.
Okay.
Stannis is
Penrose
Shadow.
dead.
Penrose do be dead, man.
Okay, totes dead. Okay. Edric Storm.
Edric Storm. Okay, I'm wondering, because it's like, I feel like as Penrose is dying, he's gonna be like, put Edric in that room, or like, you know what I mean, try to like safeguard
Edric in that room.
I don't know, like safeguard Edric in some way, but at the same time I'm like, he's probably not gonna be successful. But at the same time, like, why do they care about Edric Storm? Why can't I speak? Why does it feel like one of those, like, maybe this is just like me missing Ned, but this feels like a Ned Lyanna promise, you know, where he was like, I promised her on her deathbed. That's what this Penrose...
Promise me, Ned.
Yeah, that's what this Penrose thing feels like, where he's like,
okay.
you know? But maybe that's just me, like, severely missing Ned in these books.
Alright. Okay, so Edric might somehow be saved still?
I would hope so.
Like, in his last breath, Penrose will somehow save him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you think Stannis intends any, like, ill will towards Edric?
I don't think he intends it. I think Melisandre does.
Okay. So Stannis is gonna take over the castle. What's he gonna do next?
He's going to take over the castle, and then he's gonna go... See, because the thing is... So Stannis versus the King's Landing people, right? Like, how are we looking in terms of numbers? Like, if he gets the Storm's End people.
He's got about 20,000, and King's Landing has about 5,000-6,000 or something like that.
Right, so that's why they were like, oh, you can just go now.
You can just go now. Oh, yeah.
Right, okay. So I think if he, you know, uses his brain, which I don't think Melisandre may not let him, but I think if he uses his brain, he'll go to King's Landing and then, you know, worry about Bitter Fridge and all that.
Why wouldn't he go to King's Landing, though?
Because if she was like, oh, we gotta get the Bitterbridge people first, you know, we don't know what Melisandre's up to, you know, like what her intentions are, what she wants, so, yeah.
Okay. Alright. And Davos, is he gonna be like, just... How's he gonna deal with all of this?
I mean, you know, just sad vibes. Mans can't really do anything, you know. He's at his king's command.
Is he gonna still remain loyal to Stannis?
Yeah, till his dying breath.
Okay, alright. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly scroll through, see if there's anything else.
Also, I was just wondering, since she's like, you know, like the Lord of Light's apprentice or whatever, I don't know. She's like, you know, connected to that.
Priestess.
Oh, yes, there we go. So there's this one point, because now I'm paying attention to her necklace more, because of the thing we talked about last time. And there was this time where it was like, at her throat, the great ruby drank the daylight. Since it's like the Lord of Light or whatever, is like the daylight like the power source for it to like do its thing, you know? Oh,
is she Jadu, like from that
yeah.
movie? What's that movie?
Yeah, but
Koi Mil Gaya.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know if you don't know what I'm referencing. It's an Indian movie about an alien who gets, you know, energy from sunlight. Yeah. And his name is Jadu, which literally means magic, and it's really cool. Everybody should watch that movie. It's great.
It's such a cute movie. It's amazing.
But you think she's Jadu, basically.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I like that. Jadu. Okay.
Now we're both just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me show you this illustration that's in the book
Oh.
for this chapter. Share screen.
Oh no, is it her giving birth? Do I want to see that?
It's cool. Do you see it?
Damn.
Do you see
Yes,
it?
I see it.
It's intense, right?
It is very intense.
I'll share it in the show notes in case anybody hasn't seen it, but it's just like the moment where she's like unrobing herself and just like, oh, here I am, all pregnant and glowing and whatever.
Shadowed.
And Davos is like, oh, get away from me.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's move on to John and wrap this up.
Johnny boy.
So John and Party are still on the Fist of the First Men, and they hear a horn blast, and they start readying themselves for another blast, which I gotta say, the system is, I would say, flawed. Because, like, what if the dude blowing the horn doesn't have time for a second blast, you know, and is killed between the first and the second blast?
Yeah. But, like, what are they supposed to do?
Like, maybe it's the other way, like, 1 blast means danger, 2 means we're good. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
But then, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a better system necessarily. I just know that this system is flawed.
Yes.
So the blast, it's only 1 blast. It's finalized, and it means that Corin is here with all his dudes.
Yay.
And they are late. You know, they were expected several days ago. And people have been growing restless, just waiting for them. Nobody's happy. Some of the people are like, oh, this old man is making us freeze our butts off. Let's not give him a chance to make us freeze our butts off. Like, there's, like, you know, potentially mutinous talks happening, but John's like, everybody's just cranky. It's okay. And he talks about, like, you know, the cloak he found, and, you know, everybody's like, yeah, it could be your uncle's, but, like, we don't know why he would leave it there, and nobody knows what the dragon glass is all about, so he just, like, hands it out to his friends and
like,
gives a dagger
understand.
to
like, they didn't even, so the dragon glass isn't valuable? I thought it was, like, valuable. Because, like, children of the forest, you know?
Yeah, but, like, it's like brittle. Why? Like, maybe they can.
Like, what are they supposed to do with it?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But it's still, like, you know, I didn't think he would just be like, hey, you know, like, be able to give it to his friends, or, like, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. He's got a dagger. The Lord Commander's got a dagger. Sam's got a bunch of, like, arrowheads and stuff. And I don't know. Like, what's he gonna do by hoarding it anyway, you know?
Yeah.
So, he catches up with Corin Halfhand, who's, like, this big fella, you know, just cool.
Bestie caught an axe with his hand.
And then shoved that hand in his enemy's face and blinded him with the flowing blood, apparently.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what? This man.
Yeah, he's cool, but, like, in a way I could only really say cool, like, in this, like, fiction book setting.
Right,
like,
right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so John's like, okay, hey, my other dude wants to see you, my dude.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know what's with all the dudes. Oh, right, it's the Night's Watch. It's all dudes.
Oh my.
Okay, so, Lord Commander and Corin Halfhand go talk in the tent. John gets them, like, some tea or something ready and, you know, brings it to them. And they're talking about their next plans, and we learn that Corin was attacked on the way, and a bunch of his people some of his people were killed, many were injured. They killed a bunch of free folk, and they killed this guy called Elfin Crow Killer, who got his name for killing crows, aka Night's Watch people. And they also got a couple captives, one of whom revealed that what's his name, Mance Rayder, is preparing, like, you know, gathering an army, or like gathering all his people, but he's also looking for something in the Frostfangs, which is a new development. Also, I just came across something earlier when John's waiting for the water to boil. Ed, like Dora's Ed, is there, and he's talking about how, like, oh, I wish this were wine. I knew a brother who drowned himself in wine once. It was a poor vintage, though, and his corpse did not improve it.
My.
And John's like, you drank the wine? And Ed's just like, oh, it's an awful thing to find a brother dead. You'd have need of a drink as well. And I just love his sense of humor. Like, he's not even like intentionally being humorous, I think. It's just like how he is just
messed up but funny.
Yeah. He's very dolorous.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I have a question.
Oh yeah, also ask your question.
If Mormont were to die, who would take over?
Probably one of like the lead
ranger people,
you know?
Like that dude who was like, I'm the lead ranger, why won't you let me lead the mission? Like that dude.
That dude's back at the wall. It's like, because I don't know if we know what the procedure for like officially choosing the next Lord Commander is. But I think like if, let's say, the Lord Mormont dies like today, one of the major dudes among this party would lead the party
wherever.
Like Corrin Halfhand would probably take over, you know? Like that kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know if like once they got to the wall that he would be the Lord Commander, but he would be the commander of the party until they got to the wall, kind of thing.
Be a temp.
Yeah. What? Why do you ask?
I don't know. I just feel like John's leaving, and like, I don't know. I just feel like every time someone leaves someone, it's the last time they see them.
Okay.
In this book.
But John's also leaving like Sam and Gren and all those guys.
No, they're not. Well, I mean, some of them will probably die, you know, at some point. But I mean, they'll all die at some point. But like, no, we're not gonna think about that.
Okay. Instead, you would prefer the Lord Commander.
I wouldn't prefer the Lord Commander dying. I just think that he probably will.
Okay. Well, count your days, Mormont. Hermit's on your back. Also, John talks about like the war horn he found amongst Sam's things, and you know, it was kind of like broken up. It doesn't really make a sound, so he's like, "Hey, Sam, you like gold things? Here you go."
I mean, yeah.
Sam already has like ravens to care for. How is he gonna carry all this shit though?
Hey, you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way.
I guess. Okay, so John, they're talking about what's his name? Mance Rayder is searching for. Any theories on what that may be?
Some fun others. That would be fun. They could partner.
'Cause Corrin Halfhand is like, I bet Mance and his people mean to like breach the wall somehow.
Yeah. And then just like
with sorcery, he says, particularly. So what is this sorceress thing that they're looking for?
I mean, do we know anything like specifically sorceress? All we know is like like the weirwoods are like
magic. Well, do we know that they're magic? Oh no, but we know they're like symbolic of the old gods.
Yeah, but, like, their eyes, man, those are too real to not be magic, okay? They're magic.
But those aren't eyes, like, they didn't develop eyes automatically. Like, the children of the forest carved those into all the
Okay, but the fact that the
trees.
children of the forest carved them means they aren't just, like, fun little drawings.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like, it's magic, okay? So it's like, they're gonna, like...
Alright.
They're just gonna, I don't know, man. They're, like, looking for the children of the forest, or, like, they're gonna, like, harvest the power of a weirwood. I don't know specifically, but, like, something along those lines. Some, like, winter power, you know?
Okay. So that's what Mance is looking for. Alright, I mean, that's probably as good a guess as any, really. So yeah, Corrin is like, okay, well, I think we should, send out some parties to range, because we're rangers, and that's what we do. And, Mormont's like, yeah, but if you leave us, what are we gonna do? Like, what if you don't return? And Corrin's like, well, then you'll die. And your dying will buy time for our brothers on the wall. Which, bad, like... Come on.
But what are, like, they're already here. What are they gonna do? Go back to the wall and, like, you know what I mean? Like, they gotta have at least one line of defense.
Yeah, but are they gonna be more effective out in the wilderness or behind a wall?
Yeah, but if they
can be, like, on top of the wall,
if they're
hurling things at people.
If they're employing magic, preparation at the wall isn't gonna do anything. Like, maybe here they can disrupt the magic, like, do something, you know?
Oh, okay. So not, like, combative power, but, like,
do something.
Somehow. Okay, that's interesting. How are the men of the Night's Watch gonna react to this plan?
They're gonna be like, you leaving me here to die. They're not gonna be happy. They're already pretty mad because they think they're gonna die, and now they're definitely gonna die, so yeah.
And that's that?
Yeah, I think...
They'll be mad, but they'll do their jobs.
I don't know. They might, like, try to uprise and, like, kill Mormont. That's why I was thinking about Mormont dying.
Oh, right.
I don't know. Like,
What would happen to his raven if he died, though?
I don't know. Sad. He would fly away.
But even his ravens, like, the raven has a tendency to pick out, like, the worst words in any sentence, right? Yeah. And it keeps being like, die, 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 die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, the Corn Half-Hand is like, okay, all right, I'm gonna go do this, and I'm gonna take my boy John with me.
Johnny boy,
or rather, your boy John with me.
Mormont's
like, but he's a boy, and
he's
I
my
like him.
boy.
Yeah,
this was sad. I like the Mormont John duo. I don't want to break up.
Yeah.
But
him. Like, if John's gonna learn, he's gotta get out of the protection. You know?
I like him as Mormont's. What is he, Stewart? You know, I like it.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
well, Corrin is like, you can have other Stewarts, and John is a Stark. Technically, not really, but kind of. You know,
he is
and
a Stark.
The Starks keep the gods.
Don't defame his name.
Is he?
He is a Stark.
Wait, but if your theory is true, then he's a Targaryen?
Stark, too.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Like, he's got Stark tendency. No, Stark blood. Stark family. Stark
heritage.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah, basically the Starks keep the gods of the first men, and they rule these wilds, so I want him.
Yes,
Mormont asks John, and John's like, I'm gonna go. Obviously, like
oh, I'm sad. This is so sad.
And
why?
They're gonna leave like in just a few hours, and yeah,
I don't like it here. I don't like it. This is sad.
Well, if you don't like it here, John's going elsewhere, so that's good.
I don't like it. Me no like it.
All right then.
Is John gonna die?
Is John gonna
I
die?
hope John. I don't
Yes.
want John to die. I can't read these books if John dies.
You can't read these books if John
Yeah.
dies? I guess you can't read these books then.
Oh my gosh. I can't do it. I need... Okay, if I could only choose 3 people to survive this series. John.
Okay. Uh-huh. John Fangirl. Mm-hmm.
No.
That's it. John's the literal only person.
I can't decide between the others. Give me a second. Okay, John. Oh, no. No. No.
This is entertaining
Give
audio.
me a second. Okay. Davos. So that would be
Okay, yeah, I'm with you on Davos.
I don't want him to die. He like deserves to live. You know, he's earned my stamp of approval to live. And then I need like a third, like someone I don't like, just to spice it up.
Oh.
Cersei. I want Cersei to live. Just for fun.
Okay then.
I just feel like, I don't know, just for fun. No, you know what I actually want?
What?
I want, no. Oh, you know, the twins, Jojen and Mira. I want them to live.
They're not twins.
Oh, they're siblings, yes. I want them to live. That would be fun.
Okay, so all of the rest of the Starks can go to hell.
No,
basically.
because I can't decide between them, so I'm not going to pick the rest of them.
All right, okay.
Because then it's favoritism.
Nobody's gonna accuse you of favoritism over a fake book series. No, like it's a real book series, but a fake story in a book series. You know
what? I'm a people pleaser.
All right.
It's an issue.
Okay. So, John may or may not die. Mormont may or may not die. Everybody else may or may not die. Okay, so John's gonna go with Corin Halfhand to the Frostfangs. What are they gonna find?
They're gonna find some fun-loving children of the forest. With the fun little, what's the people's names? The, free folk.
Okay. All right. And what are Mormont and party gonna encounter while they remain at the Fist of the First Man?
Sorry. They're gonna hopefully not get attacked by others, but they probably will. Which is gonna diminish their forces by a lot. Diminish their forces by a lot. Which will be really bad.
So they're gonna get attacked by others, but not
no.
the free folk? Okay.
Yes.
I cannot think of a single other thing.
I'm so tired.
So let's move on to next chapters.
Let's do it.
So next time we are going to read 3 chapters. And any hopes, predictions?
Arya, Catelyn, Sansa.
Okay, all the Stark ladies.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
You'll get one of them.
Bruh.
So we're reading chapters 44, 45, and 46. Mm-hmm. Chapter 44 is Tyrion.
Wow.
What are we going to see? Last time we saw him, there was a riot.
Yeah, maybe we'll see, Cersei trusting Tyrion. Hello. We'll see Tyrion, vibing, making his chain. Yeah, just chilling. Maybe we'll find out if Marcella made it safely.
Oh.
Yeah, no?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe he'll try to,
Maybe they'll learn of what just happened.
Yeah, maybe he'll try to, murder Joffrey, Who knows?
He seemed pretty opposed to that idea in the last chapter.
I was like 98% joking.
But then again, if you were plotting Joffrey's death, I would want you to think otherwise, discount that. So,
yeah.
All right. Okay, chapter 45 is Catelyn. So she had just arrived at Riverrun.
Her father's about to
Tywin
die.
was like marching.
Oh yeah, we're about to witness a disaster. They about to get struck and besieged and like taken in, man. This ain't gonna be good. Not to like be dark and dreary, but just calling it like it is.
Trouble is a brewing?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Chapter 46 is Bran.
Ooh, me forgetting he exists. Bran is... Oh, the sea is coming to Winterfell. I was about to say to Bridgerton. I had to stop myself. The sea is coming to Winterfell. Yeah, we're gonna see the sea coming. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I can't think straight.
That's okay. So you imagine Theon is gonna arrive at Winterfell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because wasn't he gonna do his own plan? And be dumb about it? What was his own plan again? I forget.
Wait. Yes. But rephrase what Theon is gonna do.
Theon was gonna do a side plan. And so he's gonna do that, right? But I forget what his plan was. Was he gonna go to Winterfell alone and like get on all the glory? I literally can't remember.
He was getting what's his name?
Oh yeah, him to go to the other place, and then he was gonna strike.
And then
he went.
So that
Maester,
he could.
Got you. I forgot, but now I remember.
I said literally nothing. I just said Cleftjaw, and you were like, "This, that, okay, all right, cool."
Yeah,
Maester.
I got you.
Just threw that in there.
Well, I wanted people to know that I wasn't just like, not, like, oh, I get it, and like not actually getting it. So, just had to clarify.
Okay, that is that then. My brain is gone so fuzzy.
Me too.
Okay, so everybody go join our Discord. I'll put the link in the show notes.
Do it.
Our Instagram is at Pop Culture Symposium, and you can also email us popculturesymposium@gmail.com. And we're recording this episode way in advance because I'm going on a trip.
Favorite rocket ship zooming through the sky. Little Einstein. Climb aboard. Ready to explore. It's so
okay.
Fun.
No, we don't need to do the whole thing. So, So this, I don't know. I may not. Usually I don't remember what I've said in an episode after the fact anyway, but I will definitely not remember. So please remind me.
Right? Yes.
Remind me of how self-possessed I was this day, and maybe I can channel some of that during that other day that I'll probably need it.
Yes.
So, until then,
I love that you said self-possessed instead of self-obsessed.
Yeah, self-possessed.
That just sounds like you're possessed.
No, self-possessed means like confident.
Does it?
Doesn't it?
I don't know now.
I'd already farewelled, and now you're catching me. I was going to say caughting me, but that's not a thing. Okay, look up the definition. You do it.
Okay, yeah, like composed, in control of one's feelings. Damn, I didn't know. I thought, possessed.
No, self-possessed.
Wow.
Okay. Why does every sound anybody makes make me think of TikToks right now?
I don't know, man.
Okay. Talk to y'all. Nope. Farewell. Farewell, my friends. No. What do I say? Until next time. For about We had a breakdown like this but it was you struggling to say your bit. Now it's me struggling to say my bit. Until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.